how's it going? My name is Wade Acuff, and this is File New. Ryan is not here. Sorry about the abrupt start and then end. I think we're okay now. I don't know. Let's start some jams. Let's see what's up. If you don't know what's going on here, this is File New. We cover creator news, design news, some tech stuff all over the place sometimes. But I think we're good to go. Looks like everything is good. We do have some time to make up, though. So let's see if we can jump right into the news. All right, first and foremost, you can see, look, hey, we're on the screen. I'm on the screen. Also, good time to say hi to chat. What's up, chat? I think we're okay. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's because it's delayed. But I wanted to just point out we had some things happening earlier today. Let me see if I can pull this up. I don't know how crunchy this is going to be, but we're going to find it. We have a promo from our design hotline friends. Let's take a look at that.
Hey, Ryan, good news.
Ryan.
Kyle and I are going corporate this week. Not that we're going to be coming into the office with you, but we are embracing our corporate Memphis roots this week on Motion Design Hotline and talking about the most ubiquitous of styles available in motion design.
That's right. We've got some examples like this one, and this one, and this one that really help encapsulate a lot of aspects of this style that we're really used to help make big tech seem a lot more friendly and human, right? So we've explored some aspects of the style, and you'll get a lot of great After Effects tips as well.
That's right. Made for all humans. Watch the show to get that joke.
All right, guys, that was a Motion Design Hotline that was earlier today. Go check that out. We also had design and doodles, and then I got to check out some of Drawing a Blank. Always good, always a good show. But we're going to keep going with the news because we have some Adobe news, some Photoshop news even, if you will. And that is that there is now a Photoshop iPhone app. You guys should check it out if you can. Let me see if I can drop you guys a link. I think this link still works. Let me just drop this in here. Oh. As always, while I'm thinking about links, there is a raindrop link that you can use to get to all of the links that I'm sharing. However, there are some. Apparently my mic is pretty quiet. Oh, well, let's try this. Hello? Oh, maybe too much now. Let's back it off a bit. Okay, maybe this will work. Let me know if that's better. So yeah, back to the Photoshop for iPhone news. I was talking about raindrop links. I'm all over the place. So the raindrop will be updated because there are some links that aren't in there yet. But so keep an eye out for that as the days go along and Ryan gets updates to update it. Okay, much better. Excellent. Okay, so iPhone on Photoshop on the iPhone, and it's free. Can you believe it? It's a mobile image editing and design app built to provide the magic for which Photoshop is known, with a reimagined interface optimized for phones. It's not made to replace the desktop version, obviously, but instead empower mobile-first creators, those that like to start on their phone or create on their phone. You can check out this Adobe blog article. Gives you all the details. Let's see. Some of the features: precise selection tools, unlimited layers and masks, remove, recolor, replace parts of an image using the tap select tool. There's a spot healing brush. Generative fill, generative expand, unlimited layers, select adjustments, and the PSD format, which to me I think is probably one of the better things here, is that if this is able to sync with libraries, that's amazing because, that's part of the whole thing, right? If you have, I'm a big advocate for libraries just because it syncs over everything that, every app you use. So if it does that, awesome. Let's see, Adobe. There are also plans. There is a mobile and web plan that's available via the App Store. It gives you premium features for this app. But if you are already a Photoshop subscriber, in any form or fashion, you should have those premium features available. It's currently available only on iOS, but Android users can sign up for the beta via the link. I'm going to provide this link as well. Let me know if this link works in chat. What's up, Annika? I don't think I've said hi to chat. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We got Robert in here. Clever. Let's see. Penny, Christelle. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Obviously, we wouldn't be doing this if you guys weren't watching. But yeah, the plans work as you think they would. I'm excited about the Android version because I do have an Android. And this goes directly to the Photoshop team. If you can make it work with the fun little pin that comes with my Android, please do so, because I can only imagine having that precision on the go to get started somewhere and come back and have it ready for me on my desktop. I kind of do that already now, but it's not in layer form. It's not in a Photoshop format, all of those things. But yeah, super excited for it to come to Android. But while we're talking about that, I'm going to divert from Adobe news just for a second. There are also Clicks has a keyboard case that's available. This is kind of old news as of it was for iPhones, but they are also coming to the Android. Thank you very much. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is because, let's see what I have here. Yesterday, Clicks announced that starting in April, they will have their keyboard cases available for some Motorola, Google Pixel, and Samsung Galaxy smartphones. Pre-orders started yesterday as well, expected to ship by the end of April. The keyboards will sell for $99 until March 21st, and then increase to $139. The color options currently include something called Surge, which is a high-vis yellow-green and black. So there's only really two color options, but this is why I'm bringing this up. And it was kind of like crazy that this all happened yesterday, and then the iPhone was earlier in the week, iPhone Photoshop app. Could you imagine having hotkeys on a case attached to your phone so that you could tap, tap, tap while using the pen? I'm just saying, there's a lot of wish list stuff going on here. I don't even know that if you could set up hotkeys for that, but if you could, there's now a case available. And I'm really interested in this thing, like for the Motorola Razrs that have it. I don't know, just fascinating to me. Perfect combination of work on the go, I would think. But back to some Adobe news. And this is Adobe Substance. They've got some 3D innovations and pricing updates for us. I know pricing updates always sounds like it's a little scary, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's go through some of the innovations and what's going on. Substance recently introduced unmetered access to Substance 3D assets, marking a significant evolution in how artists and designers access materials to texture 3D content. Previously limited to 30 to 100 downloads per month, users now have full access to an extensive library of over 20,000 professional 3D assets. This includes thousands of scans and parametric materials that offer near infinite combinations of settings to achieve exactly the look you need. It also has a wide selection of ready-to-use 3D models and professionally created HDR lighting environments for staging scenes and rendering products. I know that's a big chunk of things, but that's a lot. That's a lot, and that's going to be added in to the new price. Some of the features and new features and enhancements for Substance 3D Designer. There's a new spline tool and path tool for organic material creation. And look, you can go through this article and like here's some of that I was just talking about. New path tool. You can click on some of these links that will show you little demos of that. It's actually really fun. It may even if you're not in a 3D, it's kind of fun to know what's out there. Substance 3D Painter. Sampler. First off, 3D Sampler has an improved AI-powered text-to-texture and a text-to-pattern feature. Substance 3D Painter has a paint-along path tool for precision detailing. Let's see. Performance boost, faster project loading, tessellation optimizations, and extended Python APIs for automation. Substance 3D Stager and Viewer update. Stager has AI-powered denoiser, which is supposed to allow rendering for up to 40 times faster. I mean, that sounds pretty dope. There's a new viewer for the beta that supports 70 plus 3D file formats. But more importantly, it integrates with Photoshop beta for smart object workflows. So what that means is you can have a smart object that you can edit in 3D, then it updates as a smart object in Photoshop. I believe that's how that's supposed to be integrated. That's pretty powerful. I mean, you talk about non-destructive and continuing use editing uses for objects you're going to update as you go along. It's crazy. Improved integration and connectivity. Enhanced compatibility with Maya, Cinema 4D, Blender, Unreal Engine, Unity. Substance 3D connector, open source framework for seamless Send-to workflows and real-time synchronizations. So lots of improvements. So that's where the pricing is interesting, because the individual licenses are going up from $49.99 to $59.99. So basically for $10, you're going to get 20,000 new assets, all this stuff. It depends on your workflow and how much you use. If you're not making custom assets for everything, but you're grabbing a lot from libraries, that may be a really great deal for 10 more bucks a month. I don't know. Teams, license is going $99.99 to $119.99, and the 3D texturing packages is $19.99 and jumping to $24.99. But yeah, that's how that's all laying out. I kind of think it's added value. It depends on your workflow though. So be sure and check that out if that's something you're into. Moving right along to some Substack news. Okay, so I'm not a Substack user, but I'm familiar with the space. But Substack is now going to let creators monetize videos and post them directly from its app. Previously, videos were limited to the notes that are allowed, which lacked a paywall support and subscriber notification. So before, you couldn't send out a video through notes and get have your subscribers be notified. Substack has expanded video capabilities since 2022 with increasing adoption. Creators using video and audio see a revenue grow of 2.5 times faster than those who don't. If that's something you're really looking to do, apparently that's a statistic you want to look at. Let's see. By February 2025, 82% of Substack top 250 highest revenue creators were using video and audio. Upcoming features include video trimming, editing tools, enhanced analytics, all of those things. It says here that Substack is investing in creator incentives, including a 20 million creator accelerator fund. I don't know what that means exactly for how they're investing, but I know for sure there are people in chat that are also streamers and creators. Maybe look into that. I don't know. And also, Substack, if you're listening, there's always, anyway. Live streaming is now available to all publishers. So live streamers out there, if you want to use Substack now to do that, apparently you can. They're also expanding those options for live streaming. Let's see. Yeah, so, speaking of the live streaming, we're going to move on to some Twitch news. And a couple of things here. Let me move this up. So this is, Twitch is always there's always something going on. There's always some controversy, or there's maybe a good feature or a new something. Something's always happening. This time, they're implementing a 100-hour storage limit for clips and uploads. On February 19th, Twitch announced that it plans to cut some creator content archives in order to streamline storage costs. And it says it won't apply to past broadcasts, which are VODs, or clips. So I would assume that would mean you would have to already be under that limit, or you would have to get rid of them. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But they are rolling out a new storage tracker, which is accessible from the video producer page. This tool will allow creators to filter their content based on creation date, view count, and length. In addition, once creators' content is under that 100-hour limit, they will not be able to exceed that limit. So I'm guessing if you have a live stream that you're, like you're at 99 and you stream for 2 hours, it's just not going to save that VOD. I don't know how that's going to work. As always, there's some mixed results. One opinion was this is a bad decision. I mean, obviously these are just remarks people are making. Please don't do this. There's so much history in the VODs that have turned into highlights. Tons of content could go down the drain. I mean, there's always going to be mixed feelings, but just a heads up, if you have a Twitch channel that exceeds those limits, and I checked it out myself, it does give you a warning. It does say, hey, these things are happening. The tracker was there for me, so be sure and check those out. And since Twitch is kind of a gaming space, we'll move on to some other news that's not super great. Kind of coming on the heels of Marvel Rivals, news that was out last week. If you don't know, Marvel Rivals is a big game, highly successful, lots of big user base. But one of their teams got laid off, even despite all of the successes. But Warner Brothers is also doing some readjusting. Let's see. They're closing Monolith Productions, Multiverse Studio, another studio called Warner Brother Games San Diego, and they are canceling a Wonder Woman game. If you didn't get that by the title, the CEO said this was citing a disappointing 2024 as the reasons, saying that it would focus on 4 franchises going forward. Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. Now, for me, I would rather see a Wonder Woman game than a Game of Thrones game. I do love dragons. Obviously, you guys probably know this. I love all the fantasy stuff, but Game of Thrones didn't really finish up well for me. So, in my opinion, these are all my opinions, not Adobe's. I'd probably rather see a Wonder Woman game that was done well. It's be safe out there. I hope all of those that are can find gainful employment soon. And on to some lighter news. Well, look at this. Pantone just named a color after Drew Barrymore. It's a shade of yellow. Drew Barrymore Yellow is a celebration of her 50th birthday. It was chosen to embody her infectious optimism, creative spirit, and uplifting presence, a hue as warm and vibrant as the woman herself. And they've done this before multiple times. I think the article cites Team Cocoa Orange for Conan O'Brien, Ultra Black for Nas, Brady Blue for New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. Love symbol number 2 was for Prince. So it's just another thing that Pantone does. I often wonder if they consult. Like, is it just like, hey, Drew, you're yellow, congratulations, and they're like, oh no. I wonder if there's some sort of consulting that goes on. If anybody knows, please let me know. She does seem fun. Yes, Penny, she does. Oh, what's up, Ryan? How's it going? Everybody say hi to Ryan. Ryan, thanks so much for helping me out with this one. We had a rough start, but we're in it now. So we're going to keep rolling. And over to some more somewhat Adobe news. Convert text to outline on opening Illustrator. Designers rejoice. Did you know that you can use user voice, which is where this is, with your Adobe login to upvote topics, features, updates, and Adobe apps, updates for Adobe apps. On the user voice, there is a popular request feature that lets you preview missing fonts. I'm guessing it turns it to outlines according to this. The latest Illustrator release version 29.3 now offers preview missing fonts functionality to improve your experience when working with files that contain unavailable fonts. If you open the missing fonts, Illustrator render will now render the text correctly in preview mode on the artboard. Now, I'm pretty sure that it did this already, like didn't affect the font unless you tried to edit it. I could be wrong prior to this version. Even if those fonts are installed, yeah, because I definitely know that this happens all the time. The designer gets a file from someone else that they don't have that font on their system, or maybe they uninstalled it. And it's a big issue, but having it turned to outlines on open would be amazing. If there had no edits, for that would be great. Let's see. Yeah, they probably discuss it. See, that's exactly what I was thinking. Going back to the Pantone for Drew Barrymore, I was thinking they have to have some sort of discussion, and also cluing in that they did it for a Nas album of the same name. They probably do have a big discussion. But yeah, before we move off to this, I think that's pretty cool, and that this all came about from people on user voice, like voicing their opinions and telling them what they want to do, how they want to handle fonts. And speaking of fonts, it's time for Font of the Week. Okay, so we got to get a poll going, right? We're going to get a poll going. But first, let's reveal the options for Font of the Week. I started with Lust. Let me keep going because that phrase is weird. This is a font. Lust is a font designed by Neil Summerauer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. By Positype, or from Positype. It's based off traditional staid scotches, a classic typeface popular in the early 19th century, and diadones, a genre of serif typeface that emerged in the late 18th century and was a standard of general-purpose printing during the 19th century. According to this, it's sexy, curvy, sensual, confident. A very sensual typeface that directly reflects Summerauer's calligraphic and artistic background. It comes in regular, italic, display italic, fine italic. And it is available on fonts.adobe.com. If you want to get that link, they're again all in the raindrop, or will be. Right now, I currently think they are not correct. So we'll see what happens. Because these are my font options of the week. Let's take a look at it. Let's go in under the hood here. We got to open Photoshop. Hold up. Yeah, the crash kind of set things off. So if you didn't know, we had a little bit of a hitch out of the gate. Lust is already in your favorites, Oliver says. That's dope. Well, if it launches and we don't crash again, we'll take a look at it. Don't need that. We have it. It's recovered. Photoshop, thank you so much for recovering. Much appreciation. Let's see how this is going to go. Okay. And then this is what I've determined to be now the de facto how you know a font is good. Not necessarily, but I love that every time Ryan does this, or not every time, but most times when Ryan does this, he tries it out with his show. And I love that. So let's do the same. Very thin on some of these strokes. This is Lust we're looking at. I'm using display. Lust display italic. I think we could maybe, let's try grabbing this and just using a faux bold. It's not terrible. Let's make a copy of that. Maybe bring that font size down a little bit. And let's try lowercase. Ooh, that's nice too. Found new. Yeah, that lowercase is really kind of heating up. I like it. Grab this here. So this is Lust. If you guys like that one, we'll put it in there once we get the poll going. And then let's go back and take a look at our next option. We have Cloister Fudge. Okay, well, there's a bit of an issue with the name here. we could cloister fugue. Well, it's not really, what is that, an umlaut? It's not really that. We're just going to say cloister F. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, look at this chunky guy. We'll talk about it a little bit here when we go under the hood. But for now, it is designed by Matt Herzberg from Herzberg Design. Cloister F is a bold, exaggerated black letter typeface with extreme pen angles and wasted strokes. Cloister F's letter forms draw mostly on textura quadrata with a little fracture influence in the majuscules. How's your fracture influence in your majuscules, everybody? This is especially manifest in their robust, curvaceous, pendulous elephant trunks, aka schnorkels. Cloister F's lowercase contains few such rounded strokes as befits the traditional textura. Strong black and white contrast with dense, dramatic strokes. Unique wedge-shaped blood drops appear on certain characters like R, C, and T. Let's take a look. I've already wrote. Let's see. Oh, I see the little divot there. Oh, they connect too. That's a ligature, possibly. Designed as a display typeface, best used in large sizes. A playful yet powerful black letter typeface for bold, eye-catching typography. Let's go take a look at it as if it were file new. Let's see. Cloister F, what do you have for us? Let's go with the all. Oh, let's go with the all caps. I mean, hold up. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. But it is definitely display type. Maybe in individual letters would be great. Let's try it. Let's try lowercase. File. Okay, file. Not bad. New. That's almost doable. It's a little bit, yeah, it's still a little bit much. But I do like it in lowercase. So that will be our second font option for font of the week. Let's roll into our next one. And I don't like to play favorites on these, so I'm not going to tell you which ones I like the most, but I will say I probably like this one the most. Okay, maybe a few favorites. I don't know. I kind of like, they all have their own purposes. But this one's called Alkaline. It's designed by Jonathan Bell from Fort Foundry. Yeah, Sarah says the lowercase on Cloister F is more readable. Yeah, it's hard to read. That's right. That is for sure. But this one I find to be super easy to read. Alkaline is inspired by mid-century lettering and logos on kitchen appliances. And that was one of the things that drew me to it initially, was like, this fits that mid-century, but like kind of almost could be something retro-ish dated. There's a fun little write-up on Jonathan Bell's site. It has all the ways it can be used, talks a little bit about it, shows some examples. It has fully functional ligatures, international language support, stylistic and contextual alternatives, and even an all caps version, which I dig the all caps version. I think that's my favorite. But I love this line in promotion. It says with a clubby chamber of 18%, Alkaline is ready for all kinds of good times. The clamber is just the angle, but interesting. Let's take a look. Let's go with the all caps first. Oops. Not terrible, but I think the magic of this one is the mixing of two. So if you take this and you go file, oops, I don't want to put a space in between there. New, and then maybe come in here and alt move some of these spaces around. That starts to work. That starts to work a little bit. Is there a different, maybe we go bold? See, that's starting to work a little bit for me. There's a little hiccup here between the E and the W, but that can be worked out as well. But let's see if I can do this. Yeah, not bad. And I think it even will look good. Let's try it. It may even look good, lowercase full. Yeah, not terrible. But yeah, I think that one works most for our file new purposes. But if we can get a poll going here, I'll see if I can drop us a poll real quick. Starting the poll. Let's see, add option. Okay, we've got to be careful with the spelling of this one. We've got lust. We've got cloister. Whew. And then we've got alkaline. Okay, and what is the font of the week? And we'll start the poll. I don't know how long this will run, but we'll start it. We'll see what's up. And then probably by the end, we'll take a look back towards the end and see what's up. But those are your font of the week choices. The top one is Lust. The middle one is Cloister F. And then we have Alkaline. But it looks like it's time to move into resources. Okay, resources. Oh, yeah. So have you ever been in a rut? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever felt like, I'm all exhausted of ideas and you need a way to kind of kickstart things? Well, this resource might help you. This is an exercise called, we're going to cover an exercise called The Morning Pages. It's from the book, The Artist Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. This is a publication that's been out since 1992. But the exercise we're going to do that's from Julia Cameron, that's the author, it's called Morning Pages, and it involves writing 3 pages of stream of consciousness thoughts. The first thing in the morning, just what's on your mind, and I think you're supposed to not think about it. You just flow. You just write. You just flow. You just go. It says you're supposed to do 3 pages. Now, my brain goes into, what does 3 pages mean? Is it on a sticky pad? Is it 8.5 by 11 lined, college ruled paper? Is it front and back? I don't think that any of that matters. I think it just matters you're doing the exercise. So try. I mean, I wonder if anybody wants to try this. It's supposed to clear your mind, process emotions, and boost creativity before starting the day. It does require writing by hand, which I know a lot of us probably don't do as much anymore. But you're not supposed to stop, edit, reread, any of that stuff. You just get it out. And I'm assuming you don't do anything with it. It encourages a free-flowing, judgment-free brain dump of thoughts and feelings. Now, this is the book, but apparently there's a whole, a workbook and a starter kit. I don't know about any of that stuff. I just thought that maybe this exercise would be something to look into. But moving on to our next resource. This one's great. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't hear this one. But before we get into it, this is a basically pro tip on how to make your editing, what it says is 10 times faster. And I say, yes, please, for sure. Clever says, when you cheat exercises, you only cheat yourself. But post-its count. Excellent. Just voted. Okay, we got people voting. Don't forget to vote over on the YouTube chat. I am seeing YouTube and I am seeing Behance, but the poll is up on YouTube. But back to the getting better at editing. This is a video by Ultra Razik. It's only 5 minutes long. It walks through some editing tips and shortcuts. This was promoted to the Premiere subreddit. It's worth watching the whole thing. I stopped and watched when this came across so that I could understand what they were talking about. The link is also in the raindrop. He's mastered making the keyboard work for him. It's all about hotkeys. And you've probably heard this 1,000 times. You've heard people talk about how you're supposed to use your hotkeys. It's just going to improve. this takes it to the next level. I'm going to try to jump in and see if I can find a specific spot, and we'll watch from there for just a few seconds.
So going over to you.
So
What was that?
he talks
Here is
about the
rubbish.
manual part of this.
Way. This is what you think editing is. This is not.
Yeah, he talks about all the manual parts like dragging clips, cutting clips, and then he goes into how he uses
Editing.
hotkeys.
If you're editing like this, you're wasting your life. This is not the way. Let me show you the way. This is the way. So we start here. Here is rubbish. Done. What was that? That was the letter Q. This takes you from wherever you are to the previous cut. Everything gets pushed across. I've got the same thing set up in DaVinci and I press Q. All right, this is the way I do things. We don't want this hand to be moving. We want this hand to remain on the left half of your keyboard.
Okay, I stop here because this is how I work in Photoshop. I have a pen, always a Wacom stylus, in this hand over my Wacom pad, and the left hand is over my hotkeys. So I'm already on board with how this works, and I completely get it. You don't want to be moving around doing a bunch of manual things just to get basic edits done. Same thing applies with Photoshop, as I guess it applies with
Just
editing
rest
video.
there. We have Q, W, 1, 2, 3, 4. I use 2 and 3 to zoom in and out instead of going over to plus and minus in Premiere. That helps me go in and out like this. Very nice. 1 zooms it out all the way to the whole timeline. Same in Premiere. 1 zooms out all the way to the timeline.
Okay, I'm not going to watch this whole video, but I just wanted to show you guys. You can go and watch this several times. It does go a bit fast, so I understand that. But he talks about just how he does it. What he does, even walks through how to assign this in Premiere and in DaVinci. And it's a real quick little video that I think is a really cool resource that you guys may like as well. And also more resources in the editing / motion design area. We've got Pixel Repeat, and I'll show you a little video here. Pixel Repeat is a new After Effects plugin by Max Van Leeuwen, and apparently it's on sale. It's 25% off until March. And let's just play the little video. Let's see. Hopefully we won't get an ad. Okay. So you can see it just does a bunch of pixel repeating. It loops pixels. It's great for glitch art, stylized streaks, other visuals. I mean, that's trippy. It's just really, I'm going to back it up a little bit. It's really trippy, but could be a lot of fun. It's a directional effect that creates patterns. It can create dynamic 2D shadows as well. And you can use it to build your own extrusions and streaks. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think this is what he's talking about with the shadows, like this one down here. It's like a little patterned shadow, which is really cool. I mean, I could see this used in all kinds of like music video type ways, as well as even some documentary, depending on what's going on. It's very cool. All right, let's get out of that. Moving right along. Are you guys looking for textures? Is that something you're looking for? Well, don't forget about Adobe Stock. Well, wait a minute. Go to stock.adobe.com/free, because we all want things that are free, right? So there are tons of free licenses for all kinds of images and stuff that you can find here. But if you can't find it there, here's another great place. Texture Labs. Texture Lab's been around for a while. It has tons of textures, tons of tools, tons of videos and tutorials. So I want to take a minute. But, it's just a great resource for all of those things. But more importantly, the video tutorials. And I've said this on numerous occasions when just talking to people, and they have in-depth videos on how to create these effects that they're just giving you away. A lot of them have resource files and all sorts of stuff that they're just giving away to you. But I would recommend, when you watch a video tutorial, yes, you can achieve the effect that they're going for. That's the whole point. A lot of times you get through a tutorial and you're like, I just want to be able to do the thing that I specifically went in there to learn or how to do, so that I can then use it. But if you pay attention, you'll find the way they create workflows, their methodologies. All of those little things you can apply to other parts. It doesn't even have to be the effect you're going for. It's you're like, oh, what would this look like with, even mixing and matching two different tutorials or things you've learned and just applying it. That's how I feel like you kind of upgrade your tutorial viewing and usage. Get a little pen or pad out and make notes of how you might be able to use things. Because if you're like me, when you're watching somebody else make something, you're like, oh, I could apply this to this other thing. I could, there's so many things I could do with it. And they have tons of great little tools as well that you can learn so much from. I don't know. It's just crazy. Pages and pages of it. I definitely remember this futuristic monitor, and most of it is customizable, which is wild. But anyway, just a note on tutorials in general, and make sure you check out Texture Labs. They have some really cool stuff. And then the last resource for now is the Association of Illustrators is offering a membership for 50% off for artists under 25. So if you're under 25, like myself, you can take advantage of this. Oh, I'm sorry. There was some misinformation there. If you're under 25, you can get 50% off for, let's see, the, it's a, I don't know until when. I'm sure it says here. Anyway, for now, you can get it for 50% off. If you're under 25, bring the cost down to $90 per year. The AOI is a great resource for budding illustrators and also has a dedicated help desk for members. Tools members can access includes a pricing calculator, a contract template, which I know a lot of people always ask for, and advice from agents on portfolios. So there you go. If you're under 25, that's going to be your jam, I think, if you want to have some resources as an illustrator. And that's let's see what chat has to say about it. Can those over 25 get a senior discount? Asking for a friend. Oh, we have Font of the Week results. We'll get to this in a minute. We have a hyperlink to cover. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to give a shout out to Rick Homan for sending this our way. This is a keyframes.fun that's created by After Effects plugin creator Goodboy Ninja. One day he woke up and decided to make some fun web apps for motion designers. And I rolled through this yesterday. I don't think I can do this game because I've already done it. It has like a 24. I can view my results. And I didn't know what I was doing, but it's a color match game. It puts half the screen on one side. And my results, not bad. 95 and 95. I don't count the first one. I didn't match at 95% because I was just clicking. And I was like, oh, how does this work? Not bad. I did take the quiz as well. And it just, what kind of keyframe are you in After Effects? And it just offers like a lot of questions here that you go through and answer. And I do have an answer for that. I took the quiz. And let's see what it said about me. This was my result from yesterday. Ignore that first paragraph. We don't care about that. And no, I wasn't here since it was bright gray. I am the hold keyframe apparently. All this experience has made you very knowledgeable. However, you are not afraid to help your fellow motion designers out on various subreddits and forums. That has been true in the past for sure. Adobe, listen up, Adobe. Adobe should be paying you commission for being their unofficial spokesperson. You'll defend After Effects as the ultimate tool until the end of days, even when other alternatives emerge. Yeah, sure. Maybe. All right, well, we're running out of time because we missed about 5 minutes earlier from the start here, but we're going to keep jumping around. Let's see. I'll just hide this. But that's keyframes.fun. Yeah, keyframes.fun. Link is in the raindrop, of course. But let's do some spotlights real quick before we get to our font of the week. Okay, quickly, we're going to run through this. Social media in 2025? Are you kidding me? In this economy? No, but this article by Tom May talks about why creatives are ditching rented spaces for owned platforms. And I feel like to me, this article feels like it's late 2023, early 2024. But it's dead on still, because it's basically saying you don't own any of the platforms that you're investing in. Your time, making sure you schedule posts, all these things. And it's talking about reclaiming that for yourself. Social media sites are rented spaces, like renting property. You're at the whim of these social media platforms if they change their algorithms or the structure of their services. Blogs, newsletters, and websites are owned more by the creators, so there's more of a voice. They have more choice and more stability. Artists find a great success. Let's move down to... this is what I thought was interesting. Brand strategist Ahmad Aslam takes a similar line, saying many creators have built empires on rented land only to watch the algorithm shift and take it all away. I fully agree. I've seen this happen to people and it's really current news too, with all the crazy stuff that's happening with TikTok back and forth. There's always been that message of diversify, of course, but sometimes things that hit on one platform doesn't necessarily hit on another. So there's all those things to think about. And then let's move on to the next spotlight for another article. Let's see, that why is sharing my work so hard, and go at your own pace. I'm just going to read a question that's posed to the author here. This is by Shanice Mears. I'm fearful of sharing my work online. It seems that every day new projects are released, created by huge teams with amazing case studies, and still it gets bashed in the comments. The industry's reaction to projects makes me nervous to put anything out there, but I need to generate more work. That always seems to be the case, always needing to generate more work. How do other people overcome this fear? How do I share work online? In the first response, Shanice says, create because you love it, not for others' opinions. And I know it's a worn out old saying, everybody's got an opinion, blah, 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 but it's so true. You can't really control that. All you can control is what you do. She also goes on to say, you're talented and capable, even if it feels challenging. Releasing work can be scary, but the best in the industry take risks. I do believe seeking feedback from trusted friends is a good thing before sharing. If there's something you really need, supervision on. If you're not ready, start with a private or password protected space. I mean, sure. Don't compare your process to others. Focus on creating and sharing. Of course, that makes sense. People may judge your work, but not all judgment is negative. They might love it. That is very true. There's been times where I put stuff out and I'm like, I'll put it out, and then winds up hitting a lot harder than other things that I posted I thought was really good. And then we're going to end this with a cool little, no, that's the same. Here we go. There's a creative blog has an illusion for us, an optical illusion, highlighted by Natalie Fear for Creative Blog. It's a fun optical illusion. Are they right-handed or left-handed? You should be able to switch it if you look at it long enough. That link should also be in the raindrop. I have a speaker beeping at me behind me if you wonder why I'm kind of scattered right now. I'm going to walk back and take care of it. Okay. Turning that off. Okay, and then let's get back to our font of the week before we're out of time. It looks like, let's go back in, turn our fonts back on. Whoop. Looks like Alkaline won. Hello, of course. Look at this guy. Alkaline is a genius. I mean, they're all great in their own way, and I'm sure there's ways more skilled typographers than designers than myself would I should probably switch. We got to go back. We have to do this properly. Font of the week. And I'm trying to get there we go. So looks like we've got this is our winner. There we go. We've got Alkaline as our winner for font of the week. Hey, come on, font of the week. Who I see Lust had a good following as well. Pretty close. Okay. All right, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank everybody. Oh my gosh. We've got a locked. There we go. Deactivate, activate. There we are. Hey everybody. How's it going? It's been a rough ride, but we made it. This is all the way to the end of File New. I want to give a shout out to Ryan again. Go follow him on Blue Sky. He helped put this together, did all the heavy lifting. I'm just here kind of running through stuff. You know how this goes. Go and send him some love. Go and watch all the shows that were on previously. They're all amazing. And we have one more coming up. We've got Office Hours coming up next. Guys, don't miss Office Hours. Go and check it out. And that's going to do it for me. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Bye.